Welcome back, everyone. As promised, next video, new tractor. So you could tell it's not a new tractor, but it's new to us. And this is going to be our secondary tractor, so light work. So like, you know, probably using the Rotary Hoe. I think it'll work out on the Rotary Hoe. I don't know. The Rotary Hoe might be a little bit too heavy. If that works though, we'll be doing the Rotary Hoe, and we will also be using it for raking hay. Just a few random things, probably tilling the garden, stuff like that. Let's get it unloaded. I guess we won't ramp it off the end. We should probably do something. All right, let's get this party started. See if it goes. I'd like to see. This is it. So a 180 is about 60, I think it's 64 PTO horsepower. We don't need a whole lot because the little stuff it's gonna do, probably, I mean, I'm not saying it'll never be hooked to the mower. For testing purposes at some point, that probably will be hooked to the mower, just because it's convenient. Easier than dragging the other tractor out, we can test it, but 64 horsepower is not a whole lot at the PTO to run a 10-foot mower conditioner, and it would very much struggle. Could it be done? Yeah, probably, but we're not gonna do that unless something goes very wrong. Maybe a quick once over before we wash it. It's not gonna change a whole lot when we wash it, but there will be less oil stains and such on it. Tack and everything works. Ampers, all that good stuff. Fuel gauge works. Temp gauge does work. I would like to add an oil pressure gauge. This is for the lights, which do not work currently, but they will eventually. Now you probably can't tell much of a difference on the washing because it really didn't have any bad leaks. Some stuff was just there and it's been gunked up for probably decades. I'm very particular about keeping equipment clean because it makes it easy for me to diagnose or even see that there's an issue starting, rather than, you know, for instance, if it's leaking a bunch of oil, I can see, hey, you know, this oil leak's new or it's gotten worse, we need to fix it. So that is why it's important to me. Minor things are wrong with this tractor. So I'm sure maybe you saw it earlier, but this is cracked from when he got stuck at one point and his neighbor pulled him out and they hooked to this front axle, and obviously it just put a lot of pressure there. We're gonna push this back, get it closed up, and then we're gonna weld that. The other thing that we would like to address is this leaking valve body back here. Now, it doesn't leak a lot, but I'm pretty certain that, yeah, right here's where it's leaking from. It's leaking from around this. So we're gonna check and make sure that these Allens are tight, because it's possible they've backed off. If not, it probably needs a new gasket. Not a big deal. Little stuff like that, and then I would like to get the lights working. Am I gonna use this for a lot of nighttime work? No, probably not. We're never gonna rake hay at night because the dew is on. at that point, and it would be pointless to rake the hay. But overall, this is it, and I think it's gonna be a great addition to our farm. Let's continue getting things ready for hay cutting though. Yeah, the seat situation's a little rough. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very rough. I just thought about it. It's probably stuck in the ground because the grass is growing around it. Yep. I know to pick it up. We ran this tractor for about 2.5 hours yesterday just to see if we were going to have some sort of leaks somewhere. And when you look around on the floor here, there's really nothing. That's something that we cleaned up, well, sometime yesterday before we brought this in here. But there's just nothing leaking, which is good. And you can look underneath and kind of see the same thing. But when I look on the side of the engine over here, let me grab a flashlight so you can see. So when I shine the light not directly on there, you can see that there is just oil coming from above here. You can see it comes all the way up this head, and then when we go up here, well, then we can kind of see that looks like our valve covers are just leaking and it probably needs replaced. We are going to do that soon. It will not be right now because we got bigger priorities. If it leaks a little bit of oil from there while we're raking hay or something like that with it, really not the big of a deal. Bigger priority, we got everything out. So I used this tractor yesterday to get everything out and kind of stage everything. Nothing really big is going on with any of this stuff. Actually, the biggest thing that needs repaired is this manure spreader, and it's kind of the last priority because I don't need it until after we cut hay when we're going to throw more manure back on the hayfield. So first priority is going to be getting the rake all greased up, and then we'll get the mower actually hooked up. We're actually going to run it with that tractor and do a test pass over here in the yard. Kind of common practice for us. Gives us a good idea of making sure nothing seems off or out of whack. And then we'll put those things away. We'll grease this up and check the fluid and all the gearboxes on it, fold it up, and then we'll put it away as well. It should be good. I can't remember. I think that I did that before I put it away. So let's get to it.